And I'm just getting a few things squared away. We'll get started here in just a minute. All right, I think we are ready. Let's get this one going here. Let's see, how do I get? Oops. Boop-a-doop-boo. Yes. I can't. It's like parenting, sure, whatever. All right. Filter comments, mute duration, block keywords. Is there anything there? Nope. Okay. I think we are ready. Go live. Okay. Is it working? I think it is. Okay, there goes. Had to get my TikTok started. Because that is...
I saw a guy do...
Oops, not that button. Not that button. I want to go back. That's what I want. There we go. Okay. All right, so no customs to do today. We are just going to play a bit, experiment a bit. Yeah. So we got some cups here. I'm gonna just clean up real quick. What time is it? 1:15. Okay, we got some time. By the way, if you are new here, we are... what's that? I don't know what that is. Why is there stuff popping up on my screen? Charge gifts, whatever. Summoner, hey, how you doing? Summoner on TikTok. By the way, we got YouTube going over here, TikTok going on over there, and I think there's some Twitter happening as well, but I can't keep up with Twitter, so it's weird. I don't know if I should even have it on here, but anyway, it is what it is. Maybe I should do Twitch. Should I do Twitch? Does anybody care about Twitch anymore? I don't know. End up real quick. People ask, how do I clean up silicone? This is how I do it. It's literally that easy. I mean, there's some little bits that I have to go back and clean up, but, it peels out so easily. And then I'll just wash them out and then wipe them down with alcohol before it's literally just peeling them out like that. That's it. Twitch is going pretty well. Might consider it. I might. Twitch has been... I don't know. I go back and forth on Twitch. Sometimes I feel like they're not really taking care of their content creators very well. So, I don't know. Okay. So, what are we going to do? We're going to do 2 pours today. One of which, where's my Metropole? Where is my Metropole mold? There it is. All right, so we're going to do a Metropole, which is this one right here. And go back there. All right, so we're going to do a Metropole, and we're going to do a Mako. And I'm going to try... I have my turntable. Let's see. Speed. Where is it? This work? I'm going to try doing a spin. Right. We'll see. We'll see. Try to remember how this thing works. Because it's... Because there's some button you hit and it goes all the way around. Sometimes it goes back and forth. Chaos and shenanigans. What are we making? We're making silicone sculptures. Doing a tutorial on how to pour silicone. See, that's reversing, and I don't want reversing. I want it to keep going all the way around. They're going to do it? Nope. I'm just trying to get this thing to not reverse. Is that it? I think that's it. All right. Good. Okay. Turn that off. We'll come back to that. All right. So now we're going to do this one first. This is actually one. It's a little bit different. I'll show you what this one actually looks like. Now this one has a little bit different shape. Kind of hard to see. This is from pour from a couple days ago, but has these ridges right behind the head, and flared base. The shaft is actually not round. It's actually a pentagon. So it's a pentagonal around the shaft. Has a dorsal ridge, ventral ridge. Ridges along the backside, just behind the head. Anyway, this is an A10, so it's a little bit firmer. It's got a little bit of a spring to it. Yeah. So this is the mold for that one. We're going to pour one of these, and we're going to do it in one of our colorways that we call Dorian Gray, which is silver and red. Helicopter. Yeah, we could play a bit there. But yeah, we're going to be doing this silver and red combo here. Oh, is that I'm an adult, I'm an adult, I'm an adult, I swear I'm an adult. Yes. We're all adults here. This is an 18 plus live, so we don't have to worry about it. Yes, we are all adults here. Okay, so first thing we're going to do here is, if you can tell, this mold has a bit of a curve to it, a little bit of a banana curve, as you can see. So one of the problems with doing something like this is if we're trying to pour and we're trying to get down here without hitting the sides or hitting anything, one of the problems is that we got to straighten this out. That's why I actually make these. You can get these from, actually I have a website, academy.amavidi.com. You can get these, you can get the STL file, you can 3D print these yourself. But I actually designed these specifically for this because if you look, I can take craft stick, put it there, and I can do one up here as well. And by doing that, see if I can support this. By doing that, I can straighten that out and get a straight shot all the way down so that I don't hit the sides while I'm doing the pour. Let's see, who is that? Not a mod, doesn't matter to me. Yeah. Let's see, I should be doing this for a living? Yeah, you can. I'm working on a course right now to teach people how to do it. If you go my Patreon, my patrons have access to my course as I'm working on it. But, I also have a YouTube. You can learn a lot there. What are we making? We are making silicone sculptures. Yes, we're going to pretend we're adults. But, yeah. Okay, so we've got our mold ready. We're going to give it a little spritz with the no stickum. And this is just a mold release. This keeps the silicone from sticking to the mold. All right, now I want to clean up my space here just a little bit. All right, so let's get started here. Now we're going to start with part B here. Now I'm going to start, this is the part B. This is platinum cure silicone, so this is completely body safe. Yes, I'm wearing gloves, but that's just because it's messy. There's nothing caustic, dangerous, or anything else about this stuff. So let's see, we need 84 grams. Come on, 84. There we go. A little bit over. And this is, now that part B that I just started with, that is actually 0020, so that's a really soft silicone. But what this is a hardener. And this is actually going to increase the firmness for us. And I just saw a comment, do I sell these? Yes, I do. Link in bio. Oops. All right, there we go. And then we're going to give this a good mix. Summoner, yeah, you're being really helpful. Yes, there is an Etsy store and a Patreon page. Sharon Brownyard? Sharon asking, what are we making? We are making silicone sculptures. I am teaching folks how to pour silicone. All right, so we got part B and our hardener in here. This is going to take our firmness up to about an A10. So this is going to be like the first one that I showed you here just a few minutes ago. And by the way, if anybody asks, yes, this is an 18 plus live, so don't worry about the little kids getting in here. This is for those of us who act like we're adults. All right, so we're going to add our part A, and as soon as part A touches, our clock has started. Now the curing process is going to be kicking off, and we're under the gun, and the clock is ticking. Firmness. Yes, firmness. We're talking about firmness. Firmness is measured in durometer, or measured, durometer? Firmness is measured on the shore hardness scale. And there are various shore hardness scales, anywhere from the A series, which is what we're working with here today. There is the 00 series, which is a bit softer. And then there's also the 000 series, which is really soft. The D series, which is really hard. But in general, you're going to see these made out of either the A series or the 00 series. All right, so here's our silicone. Now then, actually, I'm going to change up here. We're going to do the Metropole first. Make sure I get... All right. Now then, this is the Metropole. This is going to be the Dorian Gray colorway, which is this silver and red. Now, I want the transition point to be about halfway down the shaft. And now there's a little bit of a trick here that we have to think about. And that is that the volume of the shape itself isn't uniform all the way down the length of it. And so if we're not paying attention and we just split our silicone in half, then our transition point between our two colors is not going to be where we want it to be. Because the base, the volume of the base is actually bigger than the volume of the other end of the toy. And so what we need to do is compensate for that. So basically, roughly, it's about 1/3, 2/3 is what we're going to be doing here. All right. So we're going to take our red, drop that in here. This is a really pretty red. Red and black, yeah, it's a really good combo also. But this silver really sets off this red. Take a look at that. The gorgeous, gorgeous red. Hey, Demond, how you doing? Yosh, over on YouTube. Yes, we're doing a Dorian Gray pour. What are we making here? We are making a silicone sculpture. Yeah. All right, TikTok. You following along here? Okay. All right, so we got our red, and let's grab our silver here. Drop that in there. Now then, I'm going to drop this in the vacuum chamber here in just a minute, and that's going to be a really good time for you guys to ask questions, because while that's going, there's not going to be a whole lot. Well, basically, you're going to watch the bubbles go bubbly, bubbly, bubbly. But I can... What kind of sculpture? Who is that? Laura? Laura's asking what kind of sculpture. This is a fun kind of sculpture. All right, here's our silver. Look at that. All right, now this is going in the vacuum chamber. If you've got any questions, drop them in the chat. I'll try to get to them as best I can. And I'll try to get the camera over there so you guys can watch the silicone go bubbly, bubbly, bubbly. All right, so what we should see is we're going to see the silicone start to expand, and then we're going to start seeing some bubbles. And once it reaches here about 26, 27 inches of mercury, we'll see the bubbles really expand and then it'll collapse. And right about now, it should be collapsing. There it goes. And that's our first step. Now we're at the point where we've pretty much removed most of the air. At this point, we're just removing the last bits of it. So we're going to let it go until we stop seeing bubbles come out. Bubbles go brr. Yes, yes. Ah, the real deli asking, what does the vacuum chamber do to the silicone? That removes all of the air. If we didn't do this, then as we're mixing the silicone, we are actually mixing air into the silicone. And we would end up with almost like a sponge. And so by vacuuming it, we are pulling all that air back out. And we're going to end up with a solid mat. Now, if we didn't, again, we'd end up with that kind of a spongy silicone. And each one of those bubbles is a place for, like mold and mildew and yeast and bacteria, all those, wee beasties that we don't want growing on our sculptures. And so by doing this, we make the toys safe. Somebody's asking how long to dry. I guess you're asking how long does it take to cure? These take about 4 hours to cure. Hey, MFA Designs, how you doing, man? Good to see you again. By the way, everybody, if you see MFA Designs in the chat, run over there, tap on their name, and give them a follow. Interesting question here. Flashfire asking, so why not pour the sculpture and then put the sculpture in the vacuum chamber? Mostly because of the expansion. If you saw the silicone expand in the first place, it expands to about 2 to 3 times its volume. And so if we just poured it into our mold and then vacuumed it, it would just overflow the mold. And basically we'd make a mess. We'd waste all that silicone. Doing it this way, we don't waste anything. Second thing is that it would also mess up all of our marbling. So there's that. Michael Redmond asking, are you making what I think you're making? I don't know what you think we're making, but we're making silicone sculptures. Aw, MFA. I taught you most of what you know. Aw. Yeah, Tibbs over at Fantasy Grove. Good folks over there too. All right, how's our silicone look? So we're getting a few little bubbles over on the silver side. So we're gonna reset here in just a second and get our pour done. Jennifer asking, have I demolded the one that had the blue and the white? Yes, I did. Here it is. This is the blue and white that I did the other day. This was one where I mixed my colors before I did the vacuum, which it came out interesting. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but there is some very subtle marbling within the marbling, if you can tell. So there's blue and silver. It kind of, well, the white kind of turned into silver because of the blue had silver in it. But anyway, there's very subtle marbling within the marbling because the white marbled with the blue as it was marbling into the pour itself. So this is actually really interesting to see. But the bottom line is that it does pretty much just kind of blend the colors together, although it is a very subtle marbling that happens as well. Down with the lightness or litness or whatever it is. Why is TikToking allowing this? Because this is an 18 plus. This is an 18 plus live, and it is also a tutorial. I'm teaching people how to pour silicone. Yeah. Can I make you a mod? I don't know. Can I make you a mod? How do I do that? There. MFA, you're a moderator. I think you're a moderator. Are you a mod now? Okay, let's get this pour done. All right, so let's get this done here. We've got our silver. Bring that back over here a little bit. You guys can see this, right? We got our silver here. We got our red. Then we're going to drop our red right on top of the silver. I'm being fairly gentle with this because I don't want to introduce any new air. We just spent all that time pulling all that air out. There we go. All right, let's move YouTube around here. Yo, asking which sculpture are we doing? We are doing a metropole. Okay, so we have our silicone in the cup here. I'll give you a shot of that. There you go. All right, let's get this pour done. One smooth motion, straight down the middle. Try not to hit the sides as we go down. And then we'll be down here at the base. We're still going to have that red all the way down here. There we go. And we're going to do some squishies as well. I've got some poops here, so let's get, we're going to do some silver poops. Can you guys see that? I don't know if you can or not, but I need to get this poured so you can do what you need to. Well, you can't do much of anything. I do what I got to do here. Silicone's expensive. I need to get my pours done. let's just say it's a really bad day when your silicone goes off and starts to cure while you are pouring. All right, there's that. Now then, let's get a little bit of butt art on here. Your Demone, anything I should know on premixing thinner and slow Joe? There's a question from YouTube. Let's see. With thinner, no. With thinner, you can mix that with either A or B. It doesn't matter. That's just going to reduce your viscosity. With slow Joe, actually with slow Joe, you should be able to mix that with either A or B as well. But I would mix it with either A or B first. Don't mix A and B and then add your slow Joe. Take your B or your A, whichever one you want to work with first. Add your slow Joe to it. Mix in your slow Joe, then add your other part. And that will give you the maximum effect of the slow Joe. If you mix your A and B before adding your slow Joe, then your slow Joe is not going to have as big of an effect. All right. What do you think of that? How do you like that butt art? Look good? Okay. All right, so let's get this out of the way. How are we doing over here? By the way, MFA, I appreciate all the answers you've been giving, folks. Fuba or whatever. Fuba asking, how long does it take to cure? This will take about 4 hours. Jimmy, what are we making? We are making silicone sculptures. All right, so there's the first one. We'll put that off to the side. We're going to do one more. Okay, come on. What are we? Why is that over there? Come on. And here's a little pro tip for you. Always keep your cups with your mold. That way, if you need to do any troubleshooting later, you can always go back and look and see which part gave you troubles. All right, so now we're going to come back to this mold here. Anthony, how many do I make in a day? I can make, 20 or 30 in a day, but it really just depends on, what I need. So if I'm doing videos like this, then it's much slower because I'm not stacking up. If I'm doing a bunch of gibless orders, and I'll just I've got 3 of these lined up. I don't know if you can see that, but if I've got 3 of these lined up, I can do this a lot faster than I can just one of something. But if I'm doing videos like this, yeah, it's much, much slower. All right. So let's get this one going here. Now this is one I'm going to do. We're going to reuse this red because I really like this red. We're going to use this white, and then we're going to use this purple. So these are the colors we're going to be using on this one. Yes, yes. All right. How are things going over there? Ronald, what are you wondering? Okay. All right, so we're going to start off with some 0020 here. This is part B. This is going to be about 84 grams. By the way, if you see any answers from MFA Designs, those are good people. And they are moderating for me, which I totally appreciate because I can't keep up with everything that's going by, as well as doing all these pours. All right, tear it out. Here we're going to be going for about 75 grams of hardener. There we go. All right, give this a good little mix here. Good juju, yeah. Solo sculptures. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Joseph asking, how much is a bottle of each? Depending on how much you buy, you know, a 16-pound kit of EcoFlex from EcoFlex or Dragon Skin from Smooth On is going to run you about 250, maybe depending on where you get it, what part of the world you're in, maybe 250 bucks. So, you know, that's 16 pounds of silicone. Run you about $250, and that's per firmness, which, you know, there's a whole discussion to be had about firmnesses and which ones you buy, which ones you make, how you make them, all that kind of stuff. Anyway. There's also another brand called Polytech. Their Platsil line is more expensive, but it is another option. In some parts of the world, it is actually less expensive than Smooth On. So if you're in the UK or in Europe, then you might look at Polytech instead of Smooth On, just because it can be less expensive. All right, let's get this going here. 84 grams. There we go. All right. So we got part A and part B in here. All of our components are in the cup and mixed. So what that means is that our clock has started. Oh, Yosh, what's the biggest batch you've ever poured at a given time? Let's see. Not for silicone sculptures. Let me get this camera back over here so you guys can see things better. Not for silicone sculptures, but as far as silicone in general, about 3 or 4 pounds. When I'm doing batches of molds for other projects, and I'm doing, you know, 6 molds at a time, I'll mix up 3 or 4 pounds of silicone at once. And when I do that, those are the biggest batches I do. All right, so we're going to need about 85 grams per color here. So I'm going to section off what I need. Somebody asking, did I go to art or design school? No, I did not. I did take some art classes in high school, and I have worked in various artistic endeavors. My dad was an artist, so art and creativity was kind of always around, but I did not go to any kind of art school or anything. No, so I'm not trained in that way. Okay, so let's get some colors going here. Now we're going to start off with some white, which is going to be our base color down here. And your demont. That's a good confirmation. Thanks. What I was making is just the thinner and Slow Joe in a separate bottle. Then when I needed bigger toys, mix the parts be. Yeah. Okay. Cool. You got volunteers for molds or interviews. None of my designs are realistic, so I don't do molds of people or anything else. All of mine are 3D modeled. So there's that. As far as interviews, I have done, for the last couple of years, I do a live stream on Sunday nights, which is coming back. I took hiatus off for the holidays, and it's been a little bit slow coming back around, but I am bringing back the weekly live stream where I interview other makers, which MFA Designs owes me an interview. So yeah, that's going to be coming up. Here's our red, which we used last time. But yeah. Yes, I do, MFA. I need to interview you. Here, I'll show you that red again. Look at that. Gorgeous red. So yummy. All right, now you get to see this purple. I love this purple. Yeah, a bit more. There we go. All right, get this mixed in here. Now, in this one, I'm going to put it on the turntable when I do the pour. We're going to do a little spirally thing. See if we can get a spirally thing to happen. There's like a grayish undertone to this purple. It makes me want to kind of like, do I want to desaturate that just a little bit with a little bit of white? Let's try that. Just a touch of white, just a touch. I don't know if it did anything, but we're going to get this in the vacuum chamber. And again, if you got questions, drop them in the chat. If I don't get to them, MFA will. Oh, Yosh, you're excited for the return of the live streams, huh? The Sunday night live streams. Cool. All right, let's get us vacuumed out here. Hey, good juju. Is this popping air bubbles? Yes, what we're doing is we're drawing all of the air out of the silicone. Yeah, what we're doing is we're drawing all the air out of the silicone. Do, 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 do. All right, what questions have you got? John Hunter over on YouTube. Oh yeah, man. I know when I got started, luckily I had a fair amount of experience with silicone, so you know, making the transition wasn't too hard. But yeah, in the beginning, trying to learn and making that those first few batches can be really painful and really expensive because you make so many mistakes. But you know, when you're on the cutting edge, sometimes that happens. But there are I have tons of videos out there now, so make it a little bit easier for folks. Who is that? Whiskey Rebel, do you 3D print your mold? No, I 3D print my masters, and then I make silicone molds of my masters. Do you have a complete tutorial process video? If you go to my YouTube, you'll find a lot of videos. They're kind of all over the place, so there's a 101 series of videos. There's 101, 102, 103, 104, and 105. And that'll teach you a lot, but they're not really well structured. I do have a course that I'm working on, and my patrons have access to that now. So if you go to Patreon and you join my Academy patron level, then you have access to my course. And in that, I've got 40 videos that are very structured, and they're very, we're talking about everything from anything you might want to know is in there. And I still have not gotten through everything that I want to put into it. Chaos Shenanigans, how long from the time you mix to get it poured? This particular silicone has about a 40-minute pot life, so I've got plenty of time. But I generally try to keep it to about 10 to 15 minutes if I can. All right, we're about done with the vacuuming, so let me get things reset and we'll get this done. Yeah, okay. Oops. All right, let's get this reset. I mean, I even have videos on, how to work the vacuum chamber. Yeah, with enough molds, you can do 20 plus a day. Yeah, you're really limited by how many molds you have more than anything. All right, now this one, I'm gonna try something a little bit, I wanna try some stripes here. I don't know if I can do this. Oops. This is gonna be a weird one. I'm gonna try something. I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't know if it's gonna do what I want it to do, but we'll try it. Because that's part of what this is all about is, experimentation, trying different things. And I realize you guys on TikTok are getting kind of the back of my hand right now, but I'll bring you around and show you in just a second when I get it all done. Now then, I want to try get this right down the middle. Okay, there's that. I want to try to do it right on the side. And the last one's going to be over here on this side as well. Now, the pot life and cure time also are impacted by temperature. So if you've got a hot studio or if your studio is cold, those will have an impact on your pot life and cure time as well. Okay, so remember there is the white that is underneath all of this. So we've got stripes of purple and red with white underneath. You guys see that on YouTube? All right. All right, let's go here. Let's try this. And get this set up. There we go. And wait for my timing. There we go. And here we go. This will be interesting. I'll be curious to see how this one comes out. There we go. Now then, see if we can make a couple more poops. go. Okay, all that done. Now then, remember we have these craft sticks down in here that are straightening out everything. We need to let those go, release those, and then we're going to add our butt art. Do you ever add vibration hardware to them? I can. I'll show you how I do that. It's not something I offer, but I can show you how I have done it in the past. Let's level that out just a slight bit. There we go. Yosh, I didn't see your comment. Yes, it did look like a rose, didn't it? Okay, so here is, I'll just kind of adjust this a bit. How are we doing here? Okay, so here's a mold, and let's say we have, this is the vibe that we want to use. So I have a bridge like this that I can drop in place, just like that. And so what I'll do is I'll pour up to about maybe a 1/4 inch away from the top, and then I'll drop this in. And I have markings on here, which allow me to line it up with the edge of my base. And so, yeah. And then the silicone will cure around that. Then I can remove this, and that leaves a pocket for the vibe to be added later, or that this vibe is actually also the same size as a vacuum. So you can leave that empty and use it with a vacuum connection as well. How about the mixing cup? Does it just peel right off when it's dry? Yeah, after the silicone is cured, it just peels right out. I mean, this is some right here. This is some that I peeled out from this morning when I started. All right. Oh, yeah. Somebody's asking about, or somebody mentioned split cups. This is a split cup. These can be used for multicolor pours. I have used these in the past. I don't like them. They are very wasteful. They're extremely hard to clean. I say that, they're not that hard to clean, but they are extremely wasteful in terms of the amount of silicone that you have to use to get the pour done, because you can't scrape these while you're doing your pour. Unless you had something to hold it, then you could scrape it while you're doing it. Because I can scrape, my cups here and do things, but here, you can't scrape this while you're doing your pour. But these are interesting for some projects, maybe, but I'm not very happy with them. But yeah, split cup pours are interesting. All right, what other questions? Do I have any to demold? Not at this time. Everything I have is already demolded or is curing. So this is the Dorian Gray that we poured earlier. And then this is the Mako that we just poured. But if you caught the last one, the last live I did on Monday, these are the two that we poured on that day. And this is the purple, white, and green that we did. This is a Mako. So this red, white, and purple that we just did is going to come out shaped like this. But this one's going to have a full, it's going to have like 2 or 3 twists in it at least. And then this is the one that we did where we had, we mixed our colors before we did the vacuum. And so this is an experiment as well. But yeah. Average start cost for supplies. Depends. Are you going to do 3D printing and 3D modeling for your masters, or are you going to do clay for your masters? If you're going to do clay, that's the cheapest way to do it. And I'll generally tell people they're going to spend about $500 to get started with clay. If you're going to do 3D printing, I'll generally tell people you're going to spend about $1,000 between a 3D printer, filaments, and all the stuff you'll need to finish out everything. Anywhere from $500 to $1,000 to get started. The blue one has herpy derpies. It has a lot of texture, I'll tell you that much. Do I do the molds myself? Yes, I make all my own masters and molds. So yeah, if you're going to do clay, about $500. You're going to spend about $250 for a vacuum pump and vacuum chamber, and that'll leave you about another $250 for some silicone. Who is that? I can't say. Charlie, is that Charlie Dickens? Charlie Dickens, I don't know. Is that what I think it is? I don't know what you think it is, but we are teaching folks how to make silicone sculptures. Yosh asking, is this another trial pour? Yes, it is. I wanted to see if we could do like a 3 or 4, if we did multiple side-by-side stripes over a base color, and we did a twist to it. I wanted to see what would happen if we did that.
This is not my first session.
and TikTok got shut down. Sorry about that. I forgot I had my mic on. How often do I find time to do these? It's kind of just when the mood hits. I'm going to try to do them more often. I'm going to try to do at least a couple a week. So I haven't decided, maybe Monday and Thursdays. Today was pretty good, although we did get shut down on TikTok today, so that's sucky. But man, that's annoying. Let's see. Oh, John Hunter asking, thanks for the great videos. I missed that. I apologize, John. Bought a 5-gallon bucket pump off of Amazon. It works great. Hey, that worked. I'm glad it works great for you. Just make sure you do mix it up really, really well, because Smooth On does have a tendency to settle, and there will be a lot of sediment at the bottom of those 5-gallon buckets. So make sure you really mix them up good. Yeah, the Karens on TikTok shut me down again. I'll do an appeal and it'll get overridden, and I'll get back to doing lives again on there. It's just, this is the category that I've chosen to do, and this is the fight that I have to fight. So, yeah. All right. What else we got? Anything else? Otherwise, I'm gonna shut it down and go do my TikTok appeal. Hey, Gecko, how you doing? My day is going well, except for getting shut down on TikTok again. I'm really curious how this one's going to look. By the way, if you are a patron and you've got access to the Academy, I just uploaded a PDF document that is showing how I do a lot of these pours, and each one of these pours gets broken down, and I actually list out the specific pigments that I'm using, the actual ratios of the silicones, the hardener, the actual grams, weights, how I'm laying everything out in the cups, everything. So actually, if you look at Twitter, within the last few posts I made on Twitter, there's some posts on there. You can actually see a page from that document, and I'm going to keep adding stuff to that, which is kind of what these are for. This is getting multiple uses out of the same thing. Number one, I get to do a live stream showing how I do this stuff, and I get to do a TikTok, maybe, I don't know. And then I'm going to take these, I get to sell these, all right, okay, get to sell these. And then I get to take these and also make a document out of it, which then goes to my patron. So, multiple uses out of the same things. Yeah, that Smooth On is really, really thick. That is, I have to say, that's one of the main reasons why I stopped using Smooth On and I went with Polytech, even though Polytech is much more expensive than Smooth On. I found that I really prefer. There are a lot of things I like about Polytech, and even though it's more expensive, and when I say more expensive, I mean it, like it's about 50% more expensive than Smooth On. Yeah. So, you know, you're gonna spend $250 for a 16-pound kit of Smooth On. You're gonna spend about $350, $375 for Polytech. Let me double check, see if the prices have come down, because I complained to my distributor about the pricing, because I was like, dude, you guys are 50% more expensive. And he was like, yeah, I know, but you know, everything is based off of our costs. So come on, where is it? There's my 0020. Oops. Gallon kit, 16 pounds, $330 for Polytech. Whereas Reynolds Dragon Skin Series, gallon kit, $224. So you're literally paying an extra $105 plus shipping for the difference there. It's literally almost 50% more expensive. But I like it. And it is Polytech Flat Sil Gel. Yep. What is that? Gecko 3-chamber pour cup. Yeah, this is a split cup. I've seen people use these for resin pours and things like that. I did not use it today, and I don't like them, but somebody asked about it, so I showed it. But I will say that Polytech is less expensive, or maybe another way of putting it is that Polytech and Smooth On are basically the same price outside of the United States. So if you're outside the United States, Polytech can be a viable option compared to Smooth On. So, all right, everybody, I gotta go do an appeal on TikTok. So we'll do this again. Okay, bye. 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 How many E's are in bye? All right, let's do this.